Hello all, my name is Carrie Doyle, and in this video you will learn how to manage user roles within Moodle. It's important before you begin that you have login credentials for Moodle and that the role of instructor has been assigned to you by the site administrator. So let's begin. Once you log into Moodle, you're first going to select your course. So we're going to go and select English 517. Now once we've selected the course that we would like to manage, we need to make sure that the editing options have been turned on. To turn on those settings, you're going to select the drop-down arrow next to our gear symbol, which is a symbol that Moodle uses for tools. Once we select our drop-down arrow, we're going to simply select Turn Editing On. Now that our editing has been turned on and we're capable of making changes within our course, we need to find our users within the course. To locate our users, click Participants. Okay, and then once that pulls up, you're going to once again select that drop-down arrow next to our tools icon. And you're going to select enrolled users. This page will pull up all of the users within your course. On the left-hand side, you'll see all of the users. And on the right-hand column, you're going to see the roles. Now looking at the current roles, we can already see that a single user can have one role. Two roles can have multiple roles within a single user. That's important to know. Now, I'm going to change things up just a little bit. Our guest number 2 currently has a read-only role. I want to change that. This student has been auditing the course, and he's decided, I want to go ahead and join your class, and I can make that happen. To do that, I'm going to select the user icon with the plus symbol, which is the icon Moodle uses for assigning roles. We're going to select that. And I'm going to stop here for a moment and focus on all of the roles that can be assigned. There are many roles that you can select, and it's important as an instructor that you understand what each role can do. While there's not enough time within this video to explain fully what each role can do, make sure that you educate yourself and that you understand, because if you do not, you could present a security risk and confidential information could get out. For example, a student should never have the role of student and instructor or student and teaching assistant because they'll have access to the gradebook and that would obviously compromise information. So make sure that you learn these roles before you begin managing them. So in the case of guest number 2, I want to change the role from a read-only to a student. And to do that, I simply select student. Now notice that the read-only has not gone away, only the student has been added. And as I stated, you can have multiple roles within a single user. So I need to take away that read-only role. And to do that, I'm going to select the X next to read-only. And then a message will pop up asking if I do want to remove it, and I do. So I'm going to select remove. And voila, once I remove that, you can see that our guest is now a student. Now let's look at guest number 4. They're currently a student. But say this student has switched up and now they're going to become my teaching assistant. Well, I need to change that. So I'm going to select my assign role icon and I'm going to select teaching assistant. Now, as stated prior, a teaching assistant cannot have the role of student and teaching assistant. So I need to remove the student role. And as previously, I click the X, I confirm by selecting remove, and only the teaching assistant remains. Now for our final example, we have a user that has an instructor role and a course editor. Well, I want to add another role to that. So I'm going to select my assign role icon, and I'm also going to add instructional support. Now, I've done my checks and balances and making sure that there isn't any kind of security risk. Now, instructor, course editor, and instructional support, I've already confirmed are similar roles, and there's not going to be any kind of violation of security. So I understand that it's okay to assign that role. So those are just a few examples of how you can go in and you can manage our user roles. You can add a role, you can delete a role, and you can assign multiple roles to a single user. Now, a portion of this video has focused on security because as an instructor, security is going to be very important because you will have great responsibility. Once you've finished your task, just as it is important in assigning the roles that you don't have any kind of a security risk, you need to also make sure that you log out after each session. So once I've completed my tasks, to log out, I'm going to select the drop-down arrow next to my user icon, and I'm going to simply select log out. And that is it. I know that I've given you a lot of information on these different user roles and making sure that we don't violate any kind of security issue. But I know that as you teach these courses, as you learn to manage these users, as you learn these roles, it's going to become like clockwork. You're going to be going from this task on to next successfully and quickly. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.